Hey friends, welcome to the channel. Today I wanted to share with you some changes we are making to our language arts. Welcome to the channel. My name's Christina if you are new, and today I wanted to share some changes we're making to our language arts. So I am a homeschool mom of two. We are in the second half of our 5th year homeschooling, and it's time to make some changes. So that's kind of what I'm going to talk about in this video. I know I recently shared some thoughts I have for this upcoming year, some things that we might be doing curriculum wise. So this is a good opportunity for us to kind of try some things and see how that's going. I'm still kind of on the fence of exactly what I want to do with my youngest, but it's obvious to me for both children that we do need some changes to happen. So that's kind of what we're trying out now. So I'll go ahead and start with my eldest. So again, I have two kiddos. My eldest is in 5th grade currently, and my youngest is in 2nd grade. My eldest has done language lessons for living education since 1st grade. And it has become apparent that she's just ready for something different. I'm not feeling like, at least in this current book that she's doing, the 5th grade book, this book here, I don't know that this is my favorite. There's a couple books in this series that I don't love. So the first level and now this level. It feels like she's just not comprehending or retaining the information quite like we would hope. And this has been something she's mentioned on and off. So I told her, we're already doing some other things. How about we just put this up and we just focus on those other things. This series has served us well, but I think it's just time for a change. So that's what we're doing. So today actually she'll be starting The Little House in the Big Woods. So this is a Progeny Press guide, and I really enjoy these guides. There's a whole, so you have your table of contents, and with the Progeny Press guides they do suggest that you read the entire book. You take the week to read the book, but they also kind of break it down. So if you wanted to kind of do it in chunks, you can do that too, which is what I think we're going to do. So they have your note to the instructor where they kind of talk about that if you want to read ahead and then come back through the guide and work through it. A synopsis, some information about the author, background information, just gives you a look into what was going on in Wisconsin at that time. This book, of course, takes place in Wisconsin, if you're unfamiliar. We actually read this book when my daughter was in 1st grade. Lovely book. So she was excited to get back and read through it again. We had planned to do this year. We just haven't gotten to it, so it's worked out perfectly that now we're picking it up to work through it. Now with this guide you have before you read activities. So they give you different options of things you can do before you even start reading the book, just to kind of get you in the mood for the book. So we have some information here looking into a map of Wisconsin and what it would have been like during that time when this book takes place. So they give you a lot of different a few different options of what you can do. So I like that. Kind of setting you up for reading the book, getting you excited to do so. So like here we have Little House in the Big Woods and Winter Days and Winter Nights. So that's 2 chapters from the book. And then we have vocabulary. We have questions, comprehension questions, going through the different characters and writing down, you know, some interesting traits about their personality, how they look, all of that. So you're really breaking it down, which I'm excited for. Vocabulary is something I really need to, we really need to just focus on in all the aspects of our language arts, because she just has so many questions and it's just really important. So it continues with comprehension, digging deeper. To paraphrase means to rewrite something by putting it in your own words, but keeping the original meaning. So look, I'm going to read Ephesians 6:1-3 and Colossians 3:20. Paraphrase these verses. So Progeny Press guides are Christian guides, and they help you interpret all kinds of literature through a biblical lens or a biblical worldview, which is why I really like these guides. There's so many things we read as adults. Children will read in, you know, their education with us. So it's really helpful for them to be able to gain those skills of looking at everything they read through a biblical lens. So I like that. It has you looking through your Bible and applying that to whatever it is you're reading. And then they have projects and activities. So here, play a winter preparation game, create a Laura's Attic bulletin board, fall early winter project, make butter, which is the one I think she's going to do. Gives you the instructions, everything you'll need. That's always a fun thing to do. And then it starts on another chapter. So I'm going to talk to her about it today. If we want to read the whole book, maybe we will. We'll come back through it, or we'll just kind of chunk it. But I'm excited to start this. So this is something we will be starting today, actually. And easy grammar. Easy grammar is something I've mentioned in previous videos. It's going really well. My daughter retains the information. It works really well for the way she learns. And it's just really straightforward. You know, black and white, no frills, just mastery approach to grammar. Everything's kind of and like little chapters. You know, you have verbs, adjectives, adverbs, capitalization. I mean, there's all kinds of things in here. You have reviews. So this has gone really well. However, we've only been using it twice a week. So now this is going to be a Monday through Thursday book that we're going to work on. So she's going to continue working on this, but just more so during the week. Then her vocabulary, again, this has only been like once a week on Fridays. So we've been working through this book for a bit because of that schedule. So I'm hoping we can get through a bit more by next year by doing it daily. So she's going to be doing this daily as well, just to get that extra vocabulary practice, because we were doing spelling through Language Lessons for Living Education, just using their spelling lists. We wanted to change that up. I already had this, so all of these things we had, and we're just pulling them out and using them now since we're making some changes. So this is book 4. This is Building Spelling Skills from Christian Liberty Press. I really like this spelling program. I used this with my daughter when she was in 2nd grade, and we just decided to then use the word lists from Language Lessons. So that's why we stopped utilizing this program, but I really like it because it breaks down spelling really well. Prefixes, suffixes, context. You're utilizing your dictionary skills, which I like as well. So just a very thorough program in my opinion. and we're still newly on this. We started this on Monday. So she was given her words, and each day is separated by lesson. So here's lesson 1. This is talking about election, words. Circle the list words in these sentences, spell the list words aloud, and write the sentences on a separate sheet of paper. So she actually just highlighted the words and then did some copy work onto another notebook of these. Lesson 2 was study the word list or for Unit 1, understand the meaning of each word, and write each word twice on separate paper. So what she did, she went through the list, and any words that she didn't understand, like she wasn't really sure what does that mean, is what she looked up. Now we're still using our spelling notebooks, so she just used this and looked up her words and put them in here. So she just puts them in whatever letter category. She looks them up in the dictionary and writes the definition. So she's not drawing any pictures. My son enjoys doing the pictures, but she just kind of, writes the word and does that. So lesson 3 is the suffixes tion and ion may be added to base words to create a noun form. The base word must often be changed before adding the suffix. So that's a little activity on that. Thinking about spelling. How did you change the word multiply before adding the suffix? So some questions to get you thinking about how words are used. Write all the words in your word list one more time on a separate sheet of paper. Lesson 4, study the 10 words from your Unit 1 list. Print it at the right. Write the correct words to fit the following clues. So you're choosing from the word bank and filling those in, and then take your first practice test. And then lesson 5 is review your word list and take your final test. Write the words in the spaces provided at the back and pray for God's help before you take the test. Again, this is a Christian curriculum, and then they have places for your final test in the back. So again, we use this in 2nd grade. I really like it, and I'm excited for us to do that. So this is kind of what my 5th grader's language arts is looking like currently. Of course, she's reading her history, assigned reading, so that's on top of this. And I'll probably still have her read through her Bible stories that she was reading with language lessons, just to finish that out. But this is my 5th grader's current language arts program, the switches we've made. Now, with my son, same thing. We've made some changes with him. So he finished his beginner's Bible. So he was reading this. We started at the beginning of the year. He finished last week, the end of last week. He was so proud of himself. So we are now just reading fun readers that we have. So I have a bunch of level 2, level 3 readers. And this is what he read to me yesterday. This is The Good Dinosaur, The Journey Home. Just something that's fun to get him to enjoy the act of picking up a book and reading it, which I'm seeing a lot more of. He has a lot of his own books, most of them animal related, that he reads on his own. So this is just to have him still read to me, but different fun little books that he chooses. And for like elocution and just really focusing in on how to say words and how to read aloud, we're using the McGuffies. So, and I have the set. I've had these since we started homeschooling. I found them in Chicago at a local thrift store when we were living there. So I was so excited to find them, and I wasn't even sure what they were when I found them, but I knew that they were something interesting, so I picked them up. And we've used them on and off. I used them with my daughter when she was in 1st and 2nd grade. My daughter actually learned to read with the primer, and we used the resource from Easy Peasy, which they use that in their learning to read, and we kind of moved on from there and continued. We kind of fell off of that though with her, but I'm going back to it with my son, so I think will be helpful. So we are on lesson 51, and we are just kind of so we're going to be doing this twice a week. So the first day of the week, Monday, we're reading through the words and we're reading the story. We're looking at the picture, and you know, he's talking through that with me. We're pointing out some words in the story, and then he does his copy work. So on Monday, we are just doing the copy work of the words. So this resource is from Under the Home. They have workbooks for free that you can print. This is what we've been using all year for copy work. But we weren't really bringing this in just because he was reading from that beginner's Bible, and I wanted him to just focus on that. But now it's back in and we're focusing on both. So that first day we're doing the words, and the next day is when we're doing the copy work from the story. So this is something that he does in morning time. So he really needs that extra practice for his print. So that's kind of how we're working through this. We're not using this for grammar or anything. He is still utilizing his language lessons for living education. So he's on the level 2. We won't be using it next year for him. And I'm still trying to play with how I'm gonna do his language arts, really, like what resources I'm pulling in. If you hear my dog, she's walking there in the background. But I love these for him, especially, so we will definitely be utilizing those books. And then he's doing building spelling skills. This is book 1. Again, these are kind of advanced spelling books. And he needs extra help with spelling, so I'm doing a couple different things. For this, we are just working through the book like word study right now. I'm not quite sure I'm going to be testing him so much on these words, but I want him to do the work to see how, you know, phonetically words are used, in context how words are used, again, the prefix, the suffix, all of these things. Here we're talking about rhyming. I just want him to work through this because it is so thorough to do, you know, the work to help in his spelling. So he doesn't have a ton of confidence writing yet, so we want to just do that extra practice. So again, these words are all about a day at the ball game. And we're talking about the short ah sound. So I had him highlight the ah sound in those words. Lesson 1 was study the word list, understand the meaning of each word, and write each word twice on paper. So again, he looked through anything that he wasn't sure what it was. He picked the word taffy, so that is a word he will be looking up for his dictionary day. And then he wrote the words on his notebook. Lesson 2 is a warm-up exercise. Read the following sentences. Circle the words in the sentences which are in your Unit 1 spelling word list. So he's reading the sentences aloud to me and then circling his spelling words that he finds in those sentences. And then part 2 was writing those words. Every word that he circled, he had to write again in his notebook. Lesson 3, batting practice. Write sets of rhyming words in the spaces below. Example, Anne, ran, man. Use your word list. So he's going to find the words that rhyme with these words and write them down. and then take your first practice test. We may or may not do that today. I'm not sure. In lesson 4, some words have more than one part. These parts are called syllables. So he's going to be writing words and separating them by their syllables. 5, the last inning, review your word list and take your final test. Write the spelling words in the spaces provided at the back of the book as they are read to you. So that's how this particular book works. And there are, let's see if I can, different types of activities within it. And again, you have your space for your test in the back. So this has been good so far. Again, we just started these on this week. And he will be doing Adventures in Phonics. I actually forgot I had this. I bought this because I really like this. It's like a 3-book series, Adventures in Phonics. This is more advanced phonics, I think, than Explode the Code, which he also does, but now it's going to be like a Friday book just because he really can fly through that. So I'll just have him do extra pages on Friday. But this is more thorough. This again is from Christian Liberty Press, which I really like. Christian Liberty Press. I like the resources. They're inexpensive, and the ones we've used, again, are very detailed, and I like them. So I want him to work through the whole series. So this is what we're working on every day. So it's just a lot of word work. And I think it'll be good for him. So this is something we're adding in for Monday through Thursday. So I made myself kind of a little language arts kind of plan here. And we're also doing dictation. So this is a resource I came across, and it's free on the domain. So this is called The Modern Speller, Book 1. I believe it goes up to 6th, I want to say. I can check into that and make a note for you guys. But we're working through the second year, first half. And it's just dictation sentences. It's split up throughout the week. So the first day of the week, the new words in each lesson are placed in the margin. Phonetic words are placed below each lesson. So what I have him do, I have him look at the sentence and take his time, look at it, read it aloud. And then I take this away and I dictate it to him. And he writes, again, in that same blue notebook, he writes the sentence. And any word, and then I put it down, he looks at it. Any word that is incorrect, he fixes it. But I make a note of that word on our list. So that is a list that I'm keeping throughout the week. And we just keep adding a new word every day of the week. So here's Tuesday's work. The sentence was "see my new doll." So new was our new word. And then we introduce words that have the same EW sound within them. So do, mew, few, pew. And we introduce those words as well. So any word again, he fixes, that's incorrect, and then I add it to our list. So, and then it kind of just keeps adding new words. Our new words here is have and big. I have a new doll. I have a big doll. And then words that have the IG ending is dig, jig, fig, pig, wig. So we work through that as well, bringing out a whiteboard and kind of going over those sounds. So we just started this once again. I wanted to try more dictation with him because I can see how it would really help a child that maybe is struggling. So we are trying it as well. I will link this resource if you're interested. So it just has, your second year, first half of the year, second half of the year. I'm not worried about when we finish or end, right? I just want to work through it. So I'm going to work through as much as we can if it continues to work. This is just kind of a trial period, but we are still doing the book work from Building Spelling Skills. But I want him to do, you know, just the dictation just for extra guidance in, you know, using what he knows about spelling to kind of work out those sentences. So that is our plan for language arts, the changes we're making. So we read the McGuffey lesson on Monday, copy the words, we do our dictation lesson, we do day 1 of language lessons for him, and then we do a phonics lesson. I have exploded the code here, but then I found this one, which I'm so upset I forgot. I guess after the holidays, you know, sometimes you don't realize you're not picking up all your resources. Tuesdays, we're doing a page of copy work, a dictation lesson, our day 2 of language lessons for living education, and phonics. Wednesday, we're doing a page of copy work, dictation, our day 3 lesson of language lessons, and phonics. Thursday, we're picking words from our McGuffey, which we will add to our spelling word, and we'll look those up in the dictionary. He also has a dictionary notebook, like my daughter's, this one here. So he has one too where he draws the picture and writes the definition. We'll do our day 4 lesson of language lesson and our phonics. So we're not doing any of the spelling from language lessons, so day 5 we don't have to worry about. And then Friday we're reviewing our dictation from the week. So that is the kind of language arts plan for my 2nd grader. And let's hope that it works out. This is giving us a glimpse into our upcoming year, what's going to work, what's not, and I'll know, I'll have a better idea after working through this for a little bit of what I want to do with my 2nd grader next year, my rising 3rd grader. So hopefully that was helpful. If you've used any of these resources, please let me know. Or if you have any suggestions for a struggling speller or any of that, I would love to hear it. Drop me a comment down below. And that's all I have for you. So thanks for watching and hanging out with me on this video. And I will see you on the next one, guys. God bless.